Namaste and welcome to Brahmanic Astrology channel. And just please confirm if you're able to hear audio and video are clear. Just say AV into the comment section. So who are all fun food clothes? Hi, Agneya Trivedi. Hello. Just keep swimming. 1111 Tarot. Thank you. What a great name. 1111. Amazing. Just keep swimming. Okay, Marcel Hi, Digvijay, Agneya Trivedi, Books and Travel, Tina Gandhi. Yes, AV, great, great. So, guys, how are you? So, today we don't have any specific topic. If you have any questions around your chart or anything which you want to know about, you can always share into the stream. Okay. Okay, let's take this one by one. Okay, so Rahul ji, don't share your birth details here. If you're new here, usually I don't encourage people sharing their birth details on a public platform. So don't share it on this live stream. Okay. Okay, so just keep watching Swimming 1111 Tarot. Pisces moon here, Sagittarius rising, the truth as always. Amazing. I really like the combination of Pisces moon and Sagittarius rising. It's Jupiter all the way. Okay. So next question: does the eighth house lord in the first house causes mysterious death? Maybe or maybe not, because eighth house is the house of death, and death itself is mysterious. Okay, but when eighth lord is in the first house, it shows the intensity as well. Sea of clay, thank you. Book and travel. Hi sir, could you please explain the effect of Jupiter Dasha and Ketu Apara? I have Virgo ascendant with Jupiter in 8th Ketu. It's not possible to really do this reading here. I apologize for that. Also, our Saturn. Yeah. Rahul Singh, bye bye. I'm sharing this with you and I'm just removing you. Okay. So next one is Ishitapal, significance of Saturn in the seventh house in Navamsha. Focus more on D1 because Navamsha, we don't know how it has arrived in Navamsha. Like Navamsha has some sign into the seventh house. Let's say it's into the Cancer sign, or let's say in the Libra sign. But you don't know which pada of the sign in the D1 has brought this Saturn into the Libra pada. Okay, so you have to be careful with that. Otherwise, it there is no point in doing this. Okay, next is I'm in big need and trouble. Saturn, Mercury conjunct in the 10th house, Cancer, Moon in the third house, Sagittarius. What career I need to do? Moon also my Atma Karaka. Okay, you have to. What are the options you have to choose from? Okay, and for career, more than Atma Karaka, Amatya Karaka is important. Okay, Amatya Karaka is the planet with the second highest degree, and that is responsible for your money things or the career in general. Okay. Namaste, Punduji. Pundiji. I don't know. Moon in Anuradha and Venus in Jeshta in first house in Scorpio ascendant. Please tell me something about the effects of combination. Please, it would be great help. Yeah, Moon and Venus is a combination of two of the benefic planets. Moon again; these are the soft planets, and into the first house shows you great health. And for Scorpio ascendant, Moon rules the ninth house, Venus rules the seventh house and the 12th house. Okay. I would like to know how Sadhasati is bringing me positive results. It's strange, yes, delays, but so for positive Sagittarius rising Pisces. No, Sadhasati, uh, Sadhasati not Saraswati is not always bad, or it doesn't always bring in the challenges. It brings in more responsibility and more growth, and the process of this growth is tiring and challenging. And it also brings in the reality check. If your reality is good, like you always have balanced all the houses of your chart, then you don't have to worry about it. For example, let's say you have mm, you know we have all the houses, like we have the houses for friends, houses for parents, houses for career, health. And if you're working on all these areas of your life, then it brings in positive results when it transits through those houses. But if you have careless attitude, or if you have ignored that house for a long time, then it will make you pay an attention towards that house to fix that. And usually we don't like these lessons because we want easy life, we don't want disciplined life. And if you're disciplined and balanced, then it becomes easier. And for Sagittarius ascendant people I have seen is extremely disciplined and perfectionist. They always want everything perfect. To some extent it's a positive trait, but we don't have to go to the cynical level. Like, we don't have to be obsessed about being perfect all the time, but being disciplined through all the houses of your chart. Like, you always have to have connect with your parents, have connect with your friends, with your wife, with your in-laws, with your friends, with your colleagues, with your bosses, right? Then it becomes balanced growth. Then you won't have to worry about sadesati, you don't have to worry about any transit or any of the difficult planetary alignments. Okay, so yes, Sarasati is not always bad, and it can in fact it can also bring in prosperity as well. Currently undergoing Ketu Mahadasha with Ketu in Sagittarius in Purvashada Nakshatra in second house. Yes, astrology, how Ketu Mahadasha, Rahu Antradasha will be for Taurus ascendant. It depends upon the placement of your Rahu and Ketu. Okay, here's the thing: when you're going through the Mahadasha of nodes, the nodes in your natal chart becomes important, and there are three layers to their existence. First is their sign placement, second is their house placement, and third, how their lords are playing out. Okay, let's say you have Rahu and Ketu into the sign of Venus in Taurus and Scorpio in Ketu in Scorpio. So, and let's say you have it in 10th and the 4th house. So for now, you there are three things important for you. First is the 10th house for Rahu, fourth house for Ketu, which, so it will be always about the career and emotions, things which you do and how you feel about when you are doing things. Okay, so these are the important um, factors for these people. And one more thing, the lord of these houses, the lord of the Rahu in this case, in this example, is Venus, and the lord of the Ketu is Mars. Then we have to see where these Mars and Venus are placed. It may be exalted, it may be debilitated, it may be both of them conjunct into the 10th house or into the 12th house, 6th house, Tushtana house, and whatever. And then let's say they are conjunct into the first house, and now you have the Mahadasha of Rahu and Ketu. Then it will bring in the changes in your personality, because Rahu is the change agent. Rahu is the planet which brings in the transformation. So wherever you have Rahu placed in, you will feel that change in your life. Okay. Rahu in the 8th house Taurus. In fact, I have already made a separate video on the Rahu in the 8th house in Taurus. So when you have Rahu placed in Taurus, most of the times even astrologers can go wrong while predicting about your chart. Okay, because there is something which is hidden and mystical about your chart and personality which nobody else knows about. So it's you have one part of your personality which is totally hidden, nobody knows about it. Okay, so that is a challenge with the Rahu in the 8th house. So most of the astrologers fail for Rahu in the 8th house things. Saturn in the 12th, showing Buddha Mahad, starting Buddha Mahadasha, and what is the possible combination for a petticoat court case? You know, see the association of the 6th house and the 12th house and Saturn with the 6th house and 6th lord. Sheila Parajuli. Hello, sir. Pisces ascendant with Jupiter in Scorpio in 9th house and Rahu in the 8th house in Libra. Currently, Rahu Mahadasha. Can Jupiter balance my life? Most definitely, because, but again, the 8th house Rahu is 8th house Rahu is somewhat totally hidden. So maybe you book a session with an astrologer and you feel like something is missing. He's not able to see that, and that is true, because 8th house is the house of hidden things, and Rahu is the planet of illusion and the hidden things in our life. So what it shows is, it shows you will have a lot of things buried under your iron gate. Nobody knows about what's happening inside you. So you have to make sure that you are open enough to share what you feel, so that other people can help you, because 8th house is also the house of other people. Madalina Radu. I had Saturn return this February and nothing happened. I have it retrograde in my birth chart in 7,000. I know I should have a result more quickly than people who have Saturn direct. Why do you feel that? Because Saturn retrograde, you should go and check my retrograde series. I've already made this point that there are some myths around retrogression. Okay, that it doesn't make that planet exalted if it is debilitated. It doesn't give the, okay. And when you have Saturn return, check the degrees of the Saturn and see at exact which point which it is coming in. Okay, don't just match the signs of the Saturn, check the degrees of the Saturn and match it, then you will have the exact period. Sometimes it it is away from your sign, Saturn entering into your sign because of the degrees, and you won't feel anything. Okay, so check for the exact degrees and mm, just map those days will help you even more. What are the effects of Sun, Jupiter, and Mercury conjunction in the sixth house for Virgo ascendant? What are the effects of Sun, Jupiter, and in fact, these three are extremely good combination. And in the sixth house is the house of your enemies, delays, diseases, and sixth house and Sun is the planet which is the most brightest planet. Okay, when you have Sun in Dushtana houses, it 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 creates some kind of a curiosity for other people's in your life. Jupiter in the sixth house is extremely good for your artistic pursuits. It will make you follow some kind of art in your life. The planet of teachings goes into your day-to-day life. So you will always be involved into certain kind of activities involving you teaching other people. Okay, so this is also important. Okay, now let's move to another question. Mean drowning has a death? Did not be. Are you doing a reading? Yes, I'm doing a reading right now. Amit Chatterjee, Virgo Lagna, Saturn retrograde in the fourth house in D1, Mars in the seventh house, Jupiter Venus conjunct in the ninth house, Rahu in the sixth house. Media career not suiting. Any other career? I don't know. Why I don't know? Because career is a thing where most astrologers go wrong sometimes. Okay, because there are many more avenues right now. We always have to think about them. Okay, what if somebody comes about, I want to go into robotics, and we need to innovate those conjunctions like new age technology, then it should be connected with Rahu and so on. So there is no hard and fast rule for career. For career you need to look for the D10 chart and the 10th lord 10th house condition as well. Okay, so just with this combination I won't be able to help you with this. Okay, Virgo sign. Jupiter in Rohini, Saturn in Kritika in the seventh house in Taurus. Wonderful. Kindly advise on my life general. Which sign is most mysterious, Pisces or Scorpio? Scorpio. Because Pisces is deep, intuitive, but it does not have the element of uh, it does not have the element of that mystery. It does have the hidden things like the 12th house, but not the 8th house things. So I would say the most mysterious is Scorpio. And even it's in Pisces, I'm Scorpio ascendant. Okay. I have Aries, Jupiter, and and Saturn in the ninth, my Sun and Ketu in Capricorn sixth, Moon and Venus in the fifth in Sagittarius, Aquarius, Mars, Mercury seventh house, What does that mean? What is your ascendant is very important. So your Capricorn in the sixth, so Aquarius in the seventh, so Leo ascendant. Okay, so Mars becomes an important planet for you. So Mars being in the seventh house, and Mercury is also connected with that. Okay, so you have to check these two signs. So Sun and Ketu is a very good combination if you are on to the spiritual path. It, but the problem with this conjunction is, again, it will make you feel you're not good enough. It will make you follow the perfection. You have to come out of that. Is this month good for students of Sagittarius? I don't know. Which planet and houses gives career in data science? Mercury, 8th house. I'm a Capricorn, Sun, Sag, Moon, Leo rising. Yes, I got it. How am I getting positive results in beginning of Sarasati? It is because Jupiter is close. I'm buying two houses and career is good. Relationship is not so much. It's not about, you must be going through a very good Mahadasha. That's why everything is running up until now. Very good. But more than what is Sadasati? Sadasati is a transit, and transit has limited effect. More important is Dasha. So let's say you have the 10th Lord Dasha going on, the 5th Lord Dasha going on, Ascendant Lord Dasha going on, then the Sarasati won't have that effect. You won't feel the effect of Sarasati because Sarasati is a transit. When Saturn goes 12th to your moon, over your moon, and second to your moon, that's Sarasati, right? But Mahadasha is the time period. For that particular time, you will be ruled by that planet. So the condition of that planet into your chart will have all the say in what's happening and what are the events unfolding during those Mahadasha. And then what the transits will do? Transits will trigger the events. Transits will, trigger specific events based on the houses it is connecting. Okay, let's say you have Saturn dasha coming in, but it is also aspecting the 10th lord or the ninth lord and so on. Then it will also trigger the events related to those houses, and we have to see this for all the planets. Okay, that's why it becomes difficult. But Sarasati is not something, you will always have bad results. For that, you need to check. I don't know if you know the Ashtakvarga concept, but there is one concept called Ashtakvarga, which is a point based system, which is also important for calculating and evaluating the strength of the transit. Okay, so if you are only relying on the transit for the predictions, then you should go for Ashtakvarga as well. Otherwise, focus on Dasha and then use transit as just a triggering point. I hope this has helped you. It's about me holding an object in return for more money that is owed to me. I think we cover that. Is Jupiter in a female chart your husband? What sign does it show husband missing or no husband? Okay. Yes, Jupiter is a planet which represents your husband as well. Okay. And you will, don't get confused with so many indicators showing the similar things, but it definitely means something. Okay, it means, everything means something. It is not it is not placed in there unnecessarily. What do I mean by that? Darakaraka is also your partner. Seventh house also represents your partner. Jupiter also represents your husband, and The seventh from the moon is also your partner. Venus is a natural karaka of the relationship. So all these things do matter. Okay, and you ask that what sign does it show husband missing or no husband? Usually, you have to see the condition of the Jupiter. And what do I mean by condition? You have to see the placement, you have to see the aspects, conjunctions to that placement, because those conjunctions and placement also will create some Lajitadi avasthas, or some other avasthas with that planet. And then you will be able to understand what's happening with that part of the life. Okay, just because Jupiter is debilitated doesn't mean that you will have no husband. No. Okay, what if it is debilitated and getting cancelled out, right? So you have to see what's happening with that Jupiter thoroughly. Then only you will be able to know what's happening. To answer your question, what sign does it show husband missing and no, and no husband? To be frank, there is no specific sign. Check the condition of the Jupiter. Let's say you have Jupiter placed into the sign of debilitation. What if it is into exaltation sign in D9, or is conjunct with Saturn and canceling this? That's what the condition is. Okay, I hope this has helped. Oh, I see. Yes, more responsibilities, and yes, reality check for sure. And yes, third house have had problems with younger brothers. I'm the oldest. Great. Jupiter retrograde and Rahu in the first house. What are the effects? Amazing. These two, you will oftentimes see this as when Jupiter conjunct with the nodes, it is called as the Chandal Yoga. Okay, Chandal is devil, and Yoga is a union. So when Rahu conjuncts with Jupiter, it is called as the Chandal Yoga. But I personally like this energy because now the Jupiter is directing the otherwise wayward energy of the Rahu. Okay, so now the Rahu is in control of Jupiter, so it will give great results. Venus as ascendant lord, and it is conjunct with Mars on Scorpio sign. Does it make Venus weak? No, it doesn't make Venus weak. And what does Sun and Mercury in the seventh house mean? Buddhaditya Yoga. Okay, but again, depending upon your ascendant sign and the seventh house, it means it says a lot of things about your partner. Okay, the Sun in the seventh house, in the house of your partner, also shows that you might have some ego problem with your partner, right? Thank you so much. Yes, just keep swimming tarot. Stay blessed. Venus, Moon, Sun conjunction in the seventh. I think I have answered your question. Sir, my Sun as Dharakaraka and Mercury in the seventh house in Ashwini Nakshatra, seventh Lord Mars, Ardhara Nakshatra in ninth house with Ketu's spouse prediction for Libra Sun. I don't know. Cancer 12th house, Cancer 12th, Rahu and Sagittarius Moon. Yes, gives insanity or artistic. Cancer 12th, Rahu and Sagittarius Moon in when you have Rahu in the 12th house, what it shows is it shows you Rahu in the 12th house shows the house of hidden things have the planet of confusion. Okay, so it can also connect you to some other realm. It will give you insights or the glimpse of the other dimension. Okay, and it not necessarily gives insanity, but again you need to guard yourself against the compulsive behavior like addiction, smoking. Okay, because Rahu is the planet of smoke. If once Rahu fall on other person's Ketu in the same sign or in vice versa, does it mean to have a yes, definitely. Rahu with Jupiter, Yes. If planets have effect on living things like human, does it also affect animals, like they also have their birth chart by using the time they were born? Yes, I believe in. I believe in that. Rahu in the second house with a number 11 mentioned in, yeah. So when you have Rahu in the second house, what it shows is you have to be clear about what you need in life. Sounds cliche, but that's true, because second house is the house of your resources and tangible things. And Rahu is the planet of confusion and illusion. So you yourself don't know what you want in life with the resources. Usually, wherever we have Rahu placed in, we 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 play some, we behave like a child into that house and make some mistakes to make that house work. Okay, so let's say you have Rahu placed into the second house, so you will do something stupid around the second house thing, like around the resources. Okay, because the Rahu makes you a baby, so it doesn't give you the mastery there. It makes you feel you have a lot to learn there and exhaust you, but that's the future. Okay, so that's what happens when you have Rahu in the second house, but very good placement to make big money as well. What happens if Rahu is conjunct to Jupiter in Sagittarius in 8th house? Yeah, Rahu Jupiter conjunct into the 8th house again is a very good combination, but we will hardly know anything about this person because Rahu in the 8th house. I have Sun and Mars Capricorn D9. What is the interpretation? Nothing, because I don't know what's happening in D1. That is more important. Second house is considered as Mark house. So if second lord is placed on the second house with good degrees, how it will give result? It will give you the resources, right? But with the challenges. Okay. Even seventh house is also Marka. But the Marka is, it's like, if you don't get the resources, you die. That's how it works. Simple. Second house is the house of resources. If you don't get the resources, you die. That's why it's Maraka. Okay, so that's why resources are important to keep us going. I have Sun and Mars in the 12th, Capricorn in D9, Saturn in Leo in 7th, Aquarius. Can you give me the interpretation? Tell me what's happening in D1. D9 is just a derived chart from the D1. Hello, sir. I have Pisces rising, and my Saturn is my 12th moon in Leo, and Sun in the 4th house with Jupiter. Second house, what business can I start now? I don't know. Now, let's. What exactly is a planetary affliction? Does debilitation only is considered affliction without having any other planetary conjunction or debilitation is not an affliction. Debilitation simply is a type of dignity. Okay, so there are dignities like exaltation, debilitation, uh, own sign, and multiple sign. Right. So it's a kind of a dignity. But affliction is when a planet is conjunct or aspected by malefic or nodes. That's when they are said to be afflicted, or by the Lord of the 8 12 houses. I have Mercury and Mars in Aquarius 7. Yeah. I have Mercury and Mars in Aquarius in seventh house. Same. Is it conjunct technically? I'm loud and passionate communicator. Yes, they are. Kanya Lagna, first house blank, second house, third house Ketu. I don't know. Gemini Ascendant want to know on Jupiter placed in the third house in the sign of Leo, and Maran Karakstan and Badak Lord, how Jupiter will. Don't go into that depth. Just analyze it through the basic lordships, the lordship, the Karaka, and the planet placement. That is enough for you. Don't get into the Badaka, Maraka, and uh, the 64th Navamsha and all those stuff. You don't need to get into that. Sir, I'm in Chandra Dasha, and Ketu Antradasha is coming up. I have Moon in Aries, second house, Ketu in eighth, Libra, how will be the seventh? It we talked about the Rahu in the second and Ketu in the eighth house. Yeah. Maya Khan, Jupiter retrograde, Saturn retrograde, conjunct in the seventh house of Taurus. Excellent. What does Venus, Ketu, and Mars in the seventh house Capricorn and Saturn, Moon, Rahu in the first house? Means a lot. Okay, because a lot of things are happening. The seventh, the Venus in the seventh house is the Lord of the first house. The Mars in the seventh house. No, it's into the Venus, Ketu, Mars in the seventh house of Capricorn. So here Mars is getting exalted, and Saturn, Moon, Rahu in the first house. They are into the sign ruled by Moon. Okay, so one thing is sure: you the relationship will always be a center of focus for you. Jeet Biswas, thank you for sharing knowledge, sir. So, what is the next question? Let's move on. What is the effect of Rahu Saturn conjunct in Leo second house Cancer and by the way Jupiter is in Cancer? Yeah. So when you have this Rahu Saturn into the second house, it shows a great ability to make money, and people will look up to you as a dependable resource in their business. Okay, what else?